Not coincidentally, 8 is 2 cubed, and you look at the last 3 digits. You only consider the last 3 digits of the number. So if it's something in the 10 billions, forget about everything else to the left of the hundreds digit. Thousands and to the left, you ignore. So you only look at the last 3 digits. Multiply the hundreds digit by 4, and then, so this one step, and then add to the rest. So let's take for example 168. You multiply the hundreds digit by 4, so 1 times 4, and then we're going to bring down the 68, so you just add it to the rest, which is 68. So hundreds digit by 4 gives you 4 plus 68 is 72, and the rule is if this is a multiple of 8, then your original number is. So 168, that'd be 21 times 8. 536, again, rest, 36, add to 4 times the hundreds digit, which is 20. That gives you 56, and 56 is a multiple of 8. So 536 would be divisible by 8. This is one I came up with on my own. You add the value of the hundreds digit. This is looks like a valve, and that looks like a Q. I did not ace handwriting or art, obviously. Add value of the hundreds digit, so just the hundreds digit itself, not multiplied by 4, to rest divided by 4. So here's what I mean. 168, use that again, and all 3 numbers should pass the test. They passed the last one, so they darn well better pass this one. 168, so this time you're adding, you don't do anything to the 1, and you actually divide the 68 by 4. So of course you have to divide first, order of operations there, so you can sort of envision parentheses around it, do that first. So 1 plus 68 divided by 4 is 17, and the rule here is that if this sum is even, which it is, it's 18, then 168, 8 divides 168, or in other words, 168 is divisible by 8. Okay, let's look at 688. This one's much easier. Okay, again, you add to the value of the hundreds digit, which is 6, plus, and then you divide, the rest divided by 4, that's 88 divided by 4 is 22, and again, sum here, 6 plus 22 is 28. That is even, so check, that's divisible by 8 using that method. 536 was our other example. So again, 5 plus 36 over 4, remember it's the sum of these two, add value of hundreds digit to rest divided by 4, so that's 5 plus 9, looking for an even sum, which it is 14, so that also proves divisibility by 8. And think 8 quarters. You have 8 quarters, that's 8 times 25 cents or 200 cents or $2. 4 quarters would be $1, 8 quarters would be $2. So we know that 8 divides 200, that'd be 25 times 8. That would then imply that 8 divides multiples of 200, so that would be 400. This is not really proper notation, but I'm just being lazy here. There's not enough room anyway, so I'll keep these up here. 800, that would be 800, then 1,000, and because it divides 1,000, it'll also divide 2,000, 3,000, and you get the picture. So that's why the thousands digit, and then anything to the left of that really doesn't matter. So only these are changing, and the fact that 8 evenly then goes into 400, 600, 800, 1,000. What you do is you look at the number, so we're going to use 168 again. The nearest multiple that you know of 8 is 200. So what you do is you just subtract one from the other. For those of you who freak out every time you see a freaking negative sign, well, just subtract the smaller from the larger. So you would take 200 first and subtract 168, and that gives you a multiple of 8, 32. 160 you know is a multiple of 8 because that's 20 times 8. Since 16 is 2 times 8, 160 would be 20 times 8 because it's 10 times more than that. And so if you subtract this, well, that only leaves you with 1 and more 8, so that's 1 times 8. And of course I said that was 21 times 8, and that's how I figured it out really quickly. The nearest known multiple, 600, so we're going to take the difference. Really the sign doesn't matter. If you happen to get something negative, it's the absolute value of the difference that's important. Of course 88, and you know that's a multiple of 8. This would be 600 would be 75, and then 88 is 8 times 11. If you added these, that would give you 600. 688 would be 8 times 86. 8 goes into 64. So that's 8 times 80. That's another way of looking at it. And then if you subtract, you get 48, which is another 6 eighths. So 8 times 6. And again, these two should add to 86 because that's what 688 is. So you look for a multiple of 8 that's pretty close to that. So that, in that sense, you kind of look at the other end of the number, the left side of the number. The closest multiple is 600 down here. 536 is closer to 600 than it is 400. And that difference gives you 64, which again is a multiple of 8. So 56. So that means that 560, then you would then subtract the 536, and that gives you 24. It's going to be 70 times 8. And then 536, well, that's 3 times, that's 24 less, which is 3/8 less. So that's going to be minus 3 times 8, and that gives you 67 times 8.